Hey guys, it's May and check out this book. This is called, oh my gosh, look at that book. Sorry. Okay, this is called The Big Book of Holiday Paper Crafts, and it is made or put out by Leisure Arts and Paper Crafts. And I got it at, gosh, I never remember. Let me look. For some reason, before I started this, I thought I got this at Hobby Lobby, but now that I see this clearance sticker, I'm not sure where I got it. But I will try to find a link to this book somewhere if I can, and I'll put it below. I'm not sure if I can, but here's what I thought I would do. I love to do Christmas and July projects, and you know I just finished with the mini album project. That was a huge 15 video project, so I thought I'd do something a little light and a little less taxing, like I won't have to design a whole bunch of projects. I thought I would let this book do the work for me. And I thought it might be cool for you guys who, if you don't always have a video you can follow, or if you just want something you can have at home for inspiration, pick up one of these books and I'll show you how I use it. So here's my challenge to myself. I'm going to do things in this book that are Christmas related. I'm going to pick one at a time and do it. And I'm not going to buy anything. That's my challenge. I'm not purchasing a thing. Well, I'm out of hot glue, so I do have to buy some hot glue. But I don't need hot glue for tonight's project, so that's good. So this is what I'm going to do. This Season's Greeting card. Now this is designed by Ray Barthel. It does not have any address or anything to go to her location or her YouTube or anything. But look at this. It's basically the same card turned into all of these different things. What I'm going to try to do is, using what I have, it's my challenge, I'm going to try to make this exact thing, or as close as I can to this as possible. So I'm going to use this as my guide. So let's get started. So I'm going to leave this kind of where you guys can see it. And the first thing I need to do is pick paper. And these colors really are similar. This is Heidi Swapp's, what's the name of this? Oh, Believe. This is Heidi Swapp's Believe paper pad. And I bought this last year at Michael's. But I think these colors are very similar. So the first thing we need to find is kind of a red background that looks like it might have a little texture to it. So let's just flip through here and see what we can find where that is concerned. Something red with some texture. Oh, that's not bad. I'm going to keep my finger there. It's got some texture on it too. And look, I've used some of this already, so I've cut some away. I think that's going to be it, because that looks like the closest that I can find that's red with some texture. So I'm going to take this page out and put it aside. Now I need to find something that looks like this, that's really cute because it has all those numbers on it. And there was this page that has numbers, but the green is not there. So I think I'm going to find something with a green. I think I'm going to, instead of going with the numbers, I think I want to lean toward the green background. So let me see what's in here that's got a good green background. And I do like the images, but I like the green better than I do the numbers. Ooh, I like the plaid. That's a good green background. See, those numbers are just so plain to me. I don't want to use those. So flipping through. I think I'm going to go with, the Santas are cute, but I want to show you this other one. Ooh, this is cute. Is that too neutral? Let's look at it together. It's pretty neutral. I like it, but I really think I want to stick with the green portion. And if I can find it, there is a sheet in here that I think would be perfect. The question is, where is it? Oh, here it is. See this? I really like this one. Let me pull this out. Look at this. Aren't those colors so similar? I think they are. And I think I'm going to go with this piece for the pocket. So I have my background piece and my pocket piece. I like the way those look. Now I need a base, and that's a cream color, and I really like that. Let me find a cream colored cardstock. That was simple. I got that. That'll work for the tag also. And then looks like we just have some little embellishments. So I'm going to start cutting now, and let's see what we need to do. I'm even going to use their instructions over here on the side. So what it says is, number 1, make a card from cardstock. Adhere pattern paper square to top. Where are my dimensions? Okay. So there's no dimensions except for the finished card size. So it tells me that it's a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 card, which means it's an A2 size card. So I know those dimensions, so we'll do it ourselves. So first things first, I need to cut a top folding cream card base. just like so. And next, I will need to, I'm going to leave my cutter here and just get all this done. Next, I will need to cut from my red piece. I'm going to need a piece that's 4 inches wide. So I'm going to go to 4. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this one down to 5 1/4. So about right there. Okay, so that'll give me my card base, my mat here, and now let's cut that green page. And for it, I don't have any measurements here, but it looks like this goes slightly above half, and half would be 2. So I'm going to cut this piece at 2 1/2 inches tall. Nope, that's not enough. Oh, I forgot. Were y'all yelling at me just then? This is 5 1/2 up here. So half of 5 1/2 will be 2 3/4. So this looks like it's about 3 1/2. And that would leave 1 1/2 inches. I think that's about right. About 3 1/2 is what we're going to do right there. And we'll look at it to make sure. So 3 1/2 by 4 for our pocket. So we're getting there. Yep, I like it like that. That's good. Now it looks like I don't have to cut anything except I need to get this little black border. Let's go ahead and put these together, because it's already telling me to do that. So let's score this. So it's a top fold card, and it's an A2, so I'm going to score it at 5 1/2. Bring out the old ATG. Put this down on this card front. Okay, then I'm going to do this one. And since this is a pocket, I'm only going to do it on 3 sides. I probably should have used liquid adhesive. I didn't think about it because it's going to be a pocket. But it's a card, so I don't think it's that big of a deal. It's not something they'll be opening and closing, you know, a lot. Okay, so there's our pocket. I like the way this landed. That is in a good spot because we're going to put, you know, decorations up there anyway. Okay, let's make that border piece, and let's see what I've got to do that with. I have scraps of black paper. This is out of my scrap box. I do not have that exact punch, but I have a smaller version, so I'm just going to use the smaller version. So what I'm going to do first is move this out of the way, and I'm going to punch this. Let's go ahead and cut it down because I don't need all that. And then I'm going to center it into my border punch, like so. And move it down. This one is so hard to line up because it is so delicate. Oh, that's awesome. I can do it in one good cut. You can probably barely see it because it's so dainty, but let me show you. So you see that little edge? Now I just need to cut this away to be a strip. And that strip looks like it's about 1/2 inch. Nope, I'm going to go 3/4 because it makes me nervous. So I may be a little off, but I'm going to go 3/4 inch to be safe. Now it looks like I also need a strip of cream that is 4 inches and 4 inches wide, but that one looks really short, like it's only 1/4 inch. I think I'm going to make it 3/8. Because when I look at 1/4, it wasn't quite right. Okay, so there's that piece. Now let's adhere these two together. This is difficult to see, so I'm going to flip this over so you can see what I'm doing. So you see we have our little piece, and this goes at the top. Did not even get that straight. I mean, not even close. Okay, and I cut it too long, so I need to trim that off. So, trim this little guy away. Okay. And I think I'm going to go ahead and stick this down. I think we can at this point. That's looking cute like it is. So I have this pocket here. Okay. Got this. I'm not going to do the sentiment yet. I think what I'm going to do real quick is go ahead and do the tag inside. And let's figure that guy out. So I have this cream piece of paper left over. And this is clearly an inch shorter. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this down to 3 inches. And I'll do a little test fit. Ooh, that looks short. Not when I put the card to it. It looks alright. So let's see how that looks when I put the card to it. It fits, but it's snug. I'm going to trim it down another 1/4 of an inch. That won't be too much, but I think it'll help it. So, yep, that goes in and out better. Alright, and now it is time to discover height. So I did this at 3.5, and this looks like it sticks up about 3/4 of an inch more. So it can't, well, it could be. I'm going to do it at 4 1/4. And we'll test it and see. So that works just fine. It's a little bit taller than what they have in the picture. Let me cut 1/4 of an inch off, because I want to try to be really close. Yep, that's better because I like more red showing. Okay, so now we need to do our tag part. And I'm going to do this the cheater way. And I'm going to show you guys the cheater way. So I'm going to move this out of the way. Now the cheater way, for me, is to cut one side by eyeballing it. Like so. Then to pick this guy up, match him back and make sure I have him to the right side. And I do. Now I'm going to take him and flip him over and put him over here. The reason you flip him over is because in case you didn't get it even with your eyeballing, if you were to flip this around, you may get a different angle. Then I just lay my scissors next to it and cut. So that way, I match up. Oh, BKB. Let's see where, oh, we need to cut, okay, there's a red square in there, so we need to cut a red square for that. So 2.5 by 3. And it's done with the same, no, it's not done with the same red paper. It's done with a polka dot, but I used polka dot on the back. So here I think I'll try to find something solid or something more red. What if I use this scrap of black? I think I'm going to, so I don't have to waste a whole sheet of paper. I'm just going to use this scrap of black and cut it down to 2.5 by 3. Then I'm going to adhere this onto here. Yeah, I don't hate that. I think black makes everything more elegant anyway, so. Alright, let's adhere this down. So there's that. Okay, so we've got card and tag. So you guys can still see that. Now I think I should do, this is interesting. They have this string wrapped around the entire card. And I have some black string, so I'm going to get that real quick. This is just some of that, I don't know. It's like, it reminds me of kite string. I know it's not. That's what it reminds me of. That's interesting though, because it does wrap around the whole card. So that's what we'll do. I'm going to get myself some of this loose. So we have plenty. And then I'm just going to hold on to it with my finger here. And then just wrap it. They have it wrapped twice. So I'll wrap this one twice. Cut it away. Now I have way too much string, but that's okay. I'd rather have too much than not enough. I'm going to tie the bow and then I'll fidget with it. This would have been cute with baker's twine too, but I'm trying to stay as close as I can. These are glue dots. I'm going to take one off of here and I'm going to put it where I want the bow when it's finished, which is right there. I'm going to pick up the first string that is wrapped and go ahead and put it into the glue. Okay. Then I'm going to pull this snug and do the first little loopy part and put it into my glue dot. So it'll act like a finger for me to hold it in place while I tie it. Because that was fiddly. Oh, come on. This definitely makes me miss my baker's twine. It's much easier to tie. Oh, we're getting somewhere. Okay. And I've got that little glue dot holding that in place. I'm going to trim these little tails away. So we have our little black stringy bow. And now, what else is on here? There's a little paper flower and some green leaves. Let me see what I can find for that. Okay, so I'm going to cheat. You're going to see me do a little cheating. I found this in my stash. I'm going to take this apart and take this little green brad out and save it for another project. That leaves me with this little cream colored flower, but these leaves are the wrong color and they're shaped a little funny. So here's what I'm going to do first. First, I'm going to use a piece of this cream scrap and I'm going to find a green marker like this one and see how this does. And you could also do this probably with an ink pad or a blending tool dipped in some ink. This marker's struggling. Needs re-inking. Okay. Now it's darker. I feel better about that green. Then I can put these back together and put it on. It's not exact, but it's pretty darn close. Let me use... I'm going to use a little bit of tacky glue to put them together. Just a little bit, because it really won't have to hold it. I'm going to put some other stuff down too. So glue those together like that. Let those sit while I find that rhinestone. I have this whole little box of rhinestones. Let's see if I can find a clear one. Oh, I did. First try. Now I know that I'm not going to have any tiny enough to do across here, but I think I have an idea for those. Okay, I think we can glue this down. Yep. Going to use some more craft glue. If I'm out of hot glue, or I would so use hot glue right here, y'all. Because it would be easier, I think. And then there's some little glue poking out. I'm going to use it to hold this sequin on. So put that on. Okay. And I have a plan for these. It's going to be a little different, but I have a plan, so don't worry about those just now. Let's do the sentiment. And this sentiment has some little brads in it. So let me see what I've got that works for that. Remember this punch? We're going to try using it. So now I'm going to take this punch again and I'm going to punch it twice in black using the same setting, that same solid one. There's one. Flip this scrap over and do the other one. Okay, so I have two of them. And now I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to put adhesive on the back of one of the cream colored one. And I'm going to take this one and I'm going to offset it slightly so you see black hanging out the top. So you see that. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the one underneath. And offset it slightly the other direction. This will give me the illusion of having a border. Can you see it? Okay. So now I just got to find a sentiment that's going to fit on that. I didn't think about that. Alright, let me look. So I found these little guys, these Studio G stamps, and this has a holiday cheer stamp right here. I think it'll work really cute, and it's tiny. Pull that one off. Ooh. Okay, and put it on a block. And looks like they use black. So I'm going to use some black stays on. Stamp this on. Oh, that turned out really cute. Look how cute that turned out. Super cute. Okay. Now I need those brads in the side. Let me see what I got for those. So these are the smallest ones I could find. And they're a little big, but we're going to try it. And I think to save me a step, I'm actually going to punch a hole. I'm going to use this crocodile, because I think this will be easier. The hole's kind of big, but it still will help me. Now let's put our brads in. There's two. Now this end shows a little bit. This brad shows right there, so I'm going to snip that off. I got some little wire snips. So I got that out of the way. And I can't tell if they have this on dimensionals or not, but I'm going to put it up on a little dimension. I just put the foam tape on the back of the little sentiment, and I put 2 layers of actual foam tape. I bought this from Walmart. It's an EK Success kind. Let me show you. I bought it when it was on clearance for $1, and I bought every roll they had. So I'm kind of out of my pop dots, or my little sticky doos, so I thought I would try using this. So I put it on 2 layers, so I wanted to have a little more dimension than just one. And I'm going to put it like they have theirs. There's actually hangs over this edge all the way to the edge of the card. So put that down. And look, I found these guys, and they have these little tiny, where is it? Right here. These little tiny rhinestone pieces. I'm going to use those in here. So I'm going to get my tweezers, and they already have adhesive on the back, and they seem to be individual, or not. Well, that came off a while ago really easy. Let me try it again. There we go. So I'm going to put this one here. This is going to take a second, but they're super cute. So the adhesive stopped coming off with them. So I'm going to start putting a little Tombow here. Just a tiny dot. To stick these down. Okay, so I got them there, but now I got to clean them up a little because they went on a little sloppy. Try to get them kind of lined up. Alright, they are not perfect, but they are close. Now we need to work on, I think the card itself is done. We just need to finish this tag, which I'm excited about. I'm going to move the card out of the way. And there's a hole and some black ribbon, but it looks like they have a button also fed through. So I'm going to see what I can find like that. So I found this button, and the edges are kind of shimmery gold. I think it's really cute. And I'm going to have to do some work to make this happen, but I think I know what I can do. It won't be exact, but it'll be close. So I'm going to take my crocodile, and I'm going to use the bigger hole on this end and punch it, and then I'm going to get some black ribbon. I'm going to feed this up through the tag hole like so, and then I'm going to have to make a tiny adjustment, but it'll be alright, I think. I have some of this string from earlier, and I'm going to wrap around that ribbon and feed it through the button on one side and then the other. And I'm just basically going to tie it around the ribbon, since I can't feed the ribbon through the button because it's too wide. As tight as I can without it breaking. And snip this. Then trim this. Let's bring the card back over. And I'm going to stick this inside. And have it tilted just a little bit so you can see the whole thing. And there we go. Let me zoom in a little bit. Pretty close, huh? I think it's pretty close. I mean, it's not exact, but just using what I had in my stash, I was able to create something very, very similar. So that is the first one. I also want to show you this. In this book, it also gives you this little diagram. So if you didn't want to make exactly this, it's showing you to just basically go along this guideline and you'll end up with something similar. But I think this is super fun. So this is the first one from this book that we're going to be trying to mimic. And when we get together again on Monday, we will be doing another one from this book to continue in our Christmas in July series. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I will see you guys on Monday. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.